Hello, it's Monday, the 24th of October 2022. A long time ago, in a galaxy not very far away, there was a niche home video format called LaserDisc, which in the last couple of months I've developed a inexplicable affinity for, at least in terms of collecting them. Once I started getting into all this LaserDisc malarkey, one of the things I wanted to do was collect some decent LaserDisc copies of the original Star Wars trilogy, which is easier said than done because I did a bit of online research beforehand, and there's been quite a few releases of the original Star Wars trilogy over the years. There is great interest in the trilogy on LaserDisc because being a digital or quasi-digital format of the original unaltered trilogy, before George Lucas started making all those changes in 1997 with the special editions, all the alterations and the CGI buffoonery and stuff, like rubbing a feces encrusted ass over a Sistine fresco. So it's kind of there is a lot of interest in finding the LaserDisc editions of the Star Wars trilogy, because those films don't really exist in any, at least not officially, on any digital format. I did some research, and apparently the best LaserDisc editions of the Star Wars movies are a set of Japanese releases from, I think, 1986. They do show up on eBay, but they're relatively expensive, and I think they actually have Japanese subtitles burned into the image. So so that wasn't really a viable option for me. But I did get a few. I did get some Star Wars LaserDiscs, which are pretty good anyway. So we're going to take a look at those ones. Right. So first of all, here we go. This is Star Wars, the original movie from 1977. And no, I'm not going to call it A New Hope for two reasons. One, A New Hope is a stupid title, and number two, the movie wasn't known as A New Hope until the 1981 re-release. So 4 years later. So for a good 4 years, this movie was Star Wars, and that's what I continue to refer to it as. I really don't like the whole thing of retroactively renaming movies. I mean, don't get me started on Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. But I will concede that as retroactive changes to movies that George Lucas has made, simply changing the name of the first movie it's relatively benign. But anyway, so this is a 1989 CBS Fox LaserDisc edition of Star Wars, utilizing the famous poster artwork by Tom Young, which, a bit of artistic license with the portrayals of Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and C-3PO. But, it's a fantastic poster, one of the most famous and most beloved of the Star Wars posters. The Star Wars font there, which was designed, I think, by Dan Perry, who is a pretty celebrated motion picture titles designer. He actually designed the titles for The Exorcist and Exorcist II: The Heretic, incidentally. So yeah, and I mean, this is just great. I mean, I keep harping on about LaserDisc being a really good way to just design wise, and this just looks great, doesn't it? Yeah. And this is it's all of these movies that I'm getting, the Star Wars ones, they're all, I think they're three discs each. No, sorry, they're 2 discs each, but one of them's double-sided, so it's 3 sides. You've got a double-sided disc and then a single-sided disc. So yeah, and this is a gatefold release. So we'll have a look at So have a look at that. That just looks great, doesn't it? Yeah. Next, we have, of course, The Empire Strikes Back, 1980s. The Empire Strikes Back. Again, this is a CBS Fox release, also from 1989. So they've gone with the poster artwork that was done by Roger Castell, who prior to this, he did the poster artwork for Jaws, the famous poster for Jaws, and this is pretty good. This cover, it's commonly referred to as the Gone with the Wind poster because the way that Han Solo and Princess Leia are posing, it's sort of akin to Clark Gable and Vivian Leigh from the Gone with the Wind poster from 1939. It's a good poster. It's not my favorite one. My favorite Empire Strikes Back poster was the international one that was done by Noriyoshi Orai, a Japanese artist. I'm a little biased towards that version because that was the artwork that was used for the original Australian CBS Fox video release from 1982. So that was the copy of The Empire Strikes Back that I used to always see in suburban Australian video stores. It was that one. So, but this is pretty good. This is pretty good. So have a look at the back, and yeah, there we go. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And again with the gatefold. So yeah, kind of hitting a lot of the high points from the movie there, although not really anything. I don't think it really has anything from Hoth in there. No, nothing. So we've got Dagobah, we've got Bespin, we've got the Millennium Falcon. We don't really have. Yeah, I mean, I guess the front cover sort of has all the ice and snow and stuff. So yeah, it's all right. And here we have Return of the Jedi. This, again, from CBS Fox. This one's from 1990, so this one came out the following year from the previous two. Yeah, that's the poster artwork by Kazuhiko Sano, another Japanese artist, and that was the best poster that Return of the Jedi ever had. I find it kind of annoying that I think beginning from 1995 onwards, 95, 97, 2004, whenever, all the VHS, DVD, Blu-ray releases since then, they all have sort of newly commissioned artwork, and I don't understand why they don't use these original posters, because these just look fantastic. These are the classic posters, and I think that these are the ones that that are the best. So there we go. There's the back. Yeah. So those Japanese versions that I referred to before, apparently they have the best audiovisual quality of all the LaserDiscs, although I think these ones are pretty well regarded too. Not quite as good, but yeah. And we have a look here. Yeah. So that looks pretty good. Yeah. I wasn't content to just buy these copies though. I also decided to splurge. Well, it wasn't really that expensive, but I got the 1993 Star Wars Trilogy Definitive Collection box set. This was released by Fox Video in 1993. Yeah, if you know anything about the history of video distribution companies, and if you don't, why don't you? The 20th Century Fox movies, it began as magnetic video in the late 70s, then it became 20th Century Fox Home Video in the early 80s, then it became CBS Fox, I think in 1982, and it was CBS Fox for the better part of a decade, then it became Fox Video, then it became 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment, but this is from 1993, so this is after CBS Fox. This is when it was just Fox Video, but anyway, this is a pretty good box. The 1993 LaserDiscs are pretty well regarded. So it has this paper slip that would have originally been affixed to the back, but the glue has dried, and this is sort of just flopped off. But so it's got a list of everything that's on there. Like, it includes special features and such, like interviews and audio commentary and stuff. So yeah, and that's one of the things that LaserDisc really pioneered. A lot of the special features that we take for granted on DVD and Blu-ray, like supplements and stuff, even like chapter selections, it was all done on LaserDisc first. So yeah, hats off to you, LaserDisc. Yeah, but have a look at the box. So, that's a chunky bugger. Right, so I don't think there's anything on the other side. Yeah, no. But this is a pretty good sturdy box, as you can probably tell from my the groans that were just emanating from me as I was lifting it. But so there is a where is it? Yeah, there is an insert booklet in here. So Yeah, so this has got all the pictures, and sort of tells you what's in the disc. So post. So this is pretty comprehensive. One slight drawback from this set is, I keep talking about, one of the things about one of the drawing cards of LaserDiscs is that they, the dimensions of it, it's sort of, it's a good showcase for, really good like artwork and sleeve design. Unfortunately, the versions of these ones, they kind of, they have this sort of generic font and no artwork at all. I mean, I think they just sort of they blew the budget on the insert just there. But these are sort of, I mean, if you're into sort of like minimalist, designs, I suppose it's okay. But I mean, it's Star Wars. There's nothing minimalist about Star Wars. But yeah, so that's Star Wars. The Empire Strikes Back. I really don't like that font. And Return of the Jedi. These versions, these discs here, the three of these are all 3-disc sets, so they're all double-sided. There's 6 sides, and you can sort of see that's one of the reasons why LaserDisc never really captured the hearts and imaginations of Joe Q public, because let's be honest, it's a pain in the ass having to flip a disc like what is it, like 6 times, or in this case at least more than once in the course of watching a movie. So yeah, that sort of, I guess it was sort of one of the reasons it was the format sort of sowed the seeds of its own demise. One of the reasons I wanted to get this set is because it actually comes with a very special extra feature. This book, this nice, very prestigious looking hardback book, George Lucas, The Creative Impulse. And this is a celebration of Lucasfilm's first 20 years, I think. So yeah, it sort of covers THX, and American Graffiti, Star Wars, Indiana Jones. It's just loaded with great photographs and production stills and behind the scenes. It's even got like all the other Lucasfilm stuff like Labyrinth and Howard the Duck and stuff. And there's the Indiana Jones movies of course. So yeah, this is a good book. I mean, how can you go wrong with a book that's got this in it? I mean, come on. So yeah. So yeah, I think I'm sated. I think I'm well satisfied. I've got enough Star Wars LaserDisc material there. I would like to say that these LaserDiscs represent my most frivolous spending when it comes to Star Wars related material, but that would be a complete lie.